I'm sorry.
I got you.
Good afternoon again. Health and Human Service will come to order. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Here.
Commissioner Marecki, Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Colleen,
Here.
Chair Scott.
Present.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none, thank you.
C, approval of the May 20th, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved by Commissioner Baker McCormick, supported by Commissioner Marecki. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposes? Hearing none. Next item, please.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Next item.
Moving to item 1 under new business, forwarding the report on the MEO turnaround time analysis for the period of October 2024 through December 2024. And item 2, forwarding the MEO turnaround time analysis report for the period of January 2025 through March 2025.
Okay,
How are you guys?
fine. How are you
I'm
today?
good. Charlie Rose, Division Director for the Medical Examiner's Office. We'll start with the turnaround time for the quarter of October 1 through December 31 of 24. We accepted 897 decedents through that time period, and 652 of those decedents we accepted jurisdiction of, and autopsies were done. 428 full complete autopsies. 199 of those were inspections, and 25 of those were limited autopsies. During that time frame, we also had 300 cases that were submitted for histology, and the turnaround time for those took 5.8 days. Also during that time period, of those 652 cases during that time frame, 300 of those cases we finalized the death within 9.4 days. The remaining 112 cases that we had, the average turnaround time was 28 days. For our cremation permits during that time, October 1 through December 31st, we received 2,896 cremation requests, and those were approved within that same day, which is a vast improvement, right?
Oh.
So then we moved to January 1 to March 31st of this year. And during that time period, we had 4,467 decedents that were reported to our office, and 758 of those we accepted jurisdiction of. 461 had complete autopsies, 262 of those cases had inspections only, and 35 of those had limited autopsies. 359 of those same cases were submitted for histology with a turnaround time of 3.5 days. The same 758 cases, final cause of death of 428 of those cases were within 15 days, and the remaining 212 within 31.5 days. And lastly, for the cremation permits, we received 3,355 requests, and within the same time frame, they were approved within that same business day.
Good.
Any
Thank you
questions
so
for me?
much for that
You're
report.
welcome. Yes.
Any questions? Commissioner Colleen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And it's great to get these reports monthly. Not a however, but however, I have nothing to compare this to,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Is there gonna be like an end of the year report?
Yes, so we are.
And
Mhm.
are there some sort of like quote unquote industry standards for what the turnaround times are that you're reporting?
Yep, so it is an industry check. So within 30 days, sometimes, of course, some additional testing is needed, and that will
Right.
require additional days. But on average, we're within that month time frame. And also, we are currently revising our annual report that I will give to you all that will have extensive data on there. So I'll get that to you all soon.
Well, I was thinking in an annual report.
Right, that's
where
what I
you
mean.
could
I'm sorry.
collate it.
Mhm.
Here's what industry standards are. This is what we're doing. My phone rings a lot less
Okay.
since Wayne State
Okay, that's good.
took it over. The
Yes.
cremation permits.
Hmm.
Yeah, I used to have funeral homes calling me all the time.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
now I see half of the invoices for this
Hmm.
are unpaid after like 30 days.
Yep, so sometimes we're,
And that's the funeral homes that we bill?
yep, but we build a funeral homes
Okay.
directly, yep.
Because that's who used to call me. We can't get a permit. We can't get a permit.
Hmm.
Now they're getting their permits and
Yes.
getting the check. Well, we'll get around to that
Right.
kind of a deal. But yeah, I'd look forward to like a annual,
Yep, you won't have that soon.
yeah, because that'll provide me a little more context
will.
for the numbers.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mhm.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Oh, no, go.
Commissioner McCormick?
Oh, I guess I'll go ahead.
Sorry.
I'll
Thank you,
stop
Madam
that,
Chair.
yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the last time, I can't remember the last time you were here. Was
Mhm.
that like maybe
It was
three-
last year.
Last year?
Mhm.
Okay, wow.
I haven't seen you all this year yet.
Okay, we asked about, or I asked about opioids
Okay.
deaths.
Yep.
And also suicide
Mhm.
deaths.
Yep, so on that annual report that I'm speaking of,
Okay.
all of that'll be on there. Yep,
Great,
yep, I remember that. Yep.
thank you.
Mhm, you're welcome.
Now, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is it possible to get quarterly and instead of an annual report? I mean, just on the information that you gave us today.
Okay.
Probably not as much detail, but
Mhm.
I'm just looking for, say, a comparison of 3 months previously. or
Okay.
whatever of the timelines.
Okay,
And that's all.
Okay.
But I think then that much more deep dive,
Okay.
would be in the annual.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thanks, and thanks for
Guess
the
we want to
job.
see you more often.
Yeah.
Okay, that works for me. Okay.
Commissioner McCormick.
Just one other follow-up. Can you break those opioid deaths
Gender.
by gender and race?
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yes.
thank
ma'am.
you.
All right.
All right.
You know, excuse me. Also
Yes.
by the area, the city,
Okay,
yes, because that's what I would like to know.
by city. Okay.
Yes.
All
okay.
right. No, it's okay.
If you can look at it by area in the county,
Okay.
because I know that HHS said that they were doing some statistics on that, but I
Okay.
really haven't seen any
Didn't get- okay.
yet. But it would be interesting to know
Mhm.
where
Gender.
those
Right.
spots are, because we have the opioid fund.
Yep.
And we're spending the money now. So it'd be interesting to know where we should
Mm.
focus.
Okay, I like that. Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, we're not through yet.
Oh, no, okay. I'm sitting still.
Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you,
this-
but
this
Commissioner
spurs-
Mareki.
This spurs more questions. So I'm sure you share that data with these Narcan machines that are
Mhm.
being put up all over. Is that data being like shared with whatever? I don't even know what people are doing with the data of the machine, of the Narcan.
See if we
machine.
see any reduction. That is something I can look into and then I can let you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's, I'm just curious because we're putting,
Those
I think
machines.
$3 million worth of those machines. Oh, good. Okay.
Good afternoon, Keneal Johnson, Interim Director for the Department of Health, Human and Veteran Services. And I do want to speak to the data element of the information that Charlie just went over with you. And we are going to be receiving data on a monthly basis from the medical examiner's office and our epidemiologist team. They will be reviewing that data, analyzing it, and then we'll be able to provide more detailed reports. Additionally, we'll be drilling down on the opioid-related deaths. So that'll be coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'd just like to see data
Mhm.
as the machines keep going and, if we can kind of show that it is reducing deaths or.
Yeah, and that data is actually going to help us with the additional placement of the machines.
Okay.
And so we are making that correlation between the areas that we're seeing the deaths occur and where the machines are placed. And so we will be able to provide you all with that information.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. One more.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just
Commissioner Colleen.
thank you, Madam Chair, what Commissioner Marecki brought up. I do believe Washington has cut the funding for Narcan.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Well, they have cut funding for Narcan, but that does not affect our ability to continue to supply. We do have the
Okay.
funds allocated already for that, so that does not impact what we're doing, fortunately.
Yeah, it's good to see that opioid deaths are way down in this state.
Well-
So that's
Well,
good
and
to
that was
see.
ARPA money
Yeah.
that the opioid settlement money and ARPA.
And
money.
ARPA, a
Yeah.
combination of both.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're not going to be affected.
Yeah, we won't.
No,
be
that
affected by
settlement's gonna last for what, 30 years or something, 20 years?
Okay. Well, that'll be good if they can't take that from us.
You're
Okay. Hopefully.
Right.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
We need a motion to receive and file items 1 and 2.
We'll just wait then. Okay. All right, Madam Clerk.
Did you want to take all of them at once?
Mhm.
Okay. Moving to item 3, forwarding a report on the activities of the Cooperative Extension Services Program.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Dr. Brianna Osorio, Director of Public Health Division. And we are here today. I have Director Richard Wooden from MSU Extension. And so we are providing just an overall overview of our comparison report for fiscal year 23 in comparison to fiscal year 24 report. So I will go ahead and let him provide that.
All right, Mr. Wooten.
Good afternoon. I do want to start by saying, we just completed the annual report. So you should have electronic copies of that. That went out later than we had anticipated because we had some staffing issues and then we had to correct the highlight report. So I want to thank the commissioner for actually reviewing that report and identifying the fact that we had the wrong story for that particular district. So we have corrected that issue. We do have the right zip codes for the right district. And you should have noticed that we sent out a revised report with additional stories. So if you've got that report, let us know. If you didn't get the report, let us know. For the comparison report, we're required to do this every year to talk about the changes in our numbers from, oh, hold on, technology. Phone went to sleep. Oh, here we go. We're back. We do a year-to-year comparison report to talk about our impact. So the report that you have now is the comparison report that we just submitted. And the reality is our numbers are down by about 4,000. The main reason they're down is because of the partnership we have with the U.S. Forestry Service. We generally do a variety of programs with them on an annual basis. Unfortunately, we didn't do very much with them at all. So we didn't get any numbers from that collaboration. We actually house one of those individuals in our Detroit office. So we work very closely with them. We know they've been facing some challenges, but we just didn't get those numbers. And the end result means that our numbers for our youth are down. The interesting story is that our 4-H numbers actually went up for 4-H, but our overall youth numbers went down because we didn't have those numbers. So we're off by about 4,300 between 23 and 24 when you look at our total impact. If you go to the next category, phone keeps going off. I got to set this. If you go to the next category, our master gardener number is off as well. But that's more of a cleaning house function. Every year we go through our files. If we have people on that are listed as active and they're not doing the volunteer hours, they're not doing the work, then we take them off the list. So that's more of a house cleaning activity where we just took those individuals off that list. And that's why those numbers are down. Our program is still pretty active. We still are strong. Change the structure. It's more of a foundations of gardening. It's more of an online class. It's not my favorite way to do it. I prefer the face-to-face classes. I feel like we did a lot better job when we did face-to-face classes. We did one in Detroit and we did one in the western part of the county. So what we're trying to do, because we know that's one of our most successful programs, we're trying to find a way to find a compromise. So we're trying to look at the potential of doing watch parties for those individuals who don't learn best sitting at home on their computer. So I went back and forth with the administration a long time on this one because that's been one of our successful classes. We've had about 75 people in those classes twice a year, and they've been very representative of the population in Wayne County. It's been very diverse in terms of age, in terms of race, and it's been one of our most successful programs that we've offered. We're still trying to look at the data to see the impact of switching it to an online system. We had staff reductions. We didn't have as many people, so the university made the decision to go to more of an online system. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do those watch parties. We're going to try to bring people back together. And for those people that learn best sitting in a room, those are the people we're going to try to accommodate. We had a lot of seniors in those classes, and we had a lot of engagement that happened as a part of that process. And as a part of that last class, all of the individuals came together and they had this amazing potluck. And there's a lot of social contact and interaction, I think, that we lost when we changed that system. So we are going to try to get some of that back. So that's pretty much my report.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this report's comparing the 24 program to the 23 program. So what in that year, what were the problems with the U.S. Forestry Service being a partner between 23 and 24? What specifically were the problems?
We give them the flexibility to work with us, but they're not required to work with us. If they deliver programs that they think don't involve our staff, then we don't make the connection. Lisa Perez is the person that worked for U.S. Forestry Service. We couldn't claim any programs that our staff were not involved in, and it wasn't a direct contact. When you see our direct contact numbers or our program impact, that's somebody who had a direct contact with MSU Extension, because we have the directs and we have the indirects. They had a lot of indirect activities, like festivals. They had a junior ranger program, but none of those involved our staff. And because they didn't involve our staff, we couldn't count those numbers.
So was it a new leadership, or why did they decide to change when in the past you've worked with them?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't know that I've got a good answer for that one. We do provide the space for them. The individual that was supposed to be in that space wasn't in that space for the majority of 2024. So I don't know if they had internal problems to the to U.S. Forestry Service or not, but the work didn't happen with us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kleen? No? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that report. Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, we're going to the next one.
Item 4, revision of resolution number 2024-547, a grant agreement with the W.K. Kellogg Foundation.
Certainly.
I'm the development officer. Oh, thank you so much. My name is Myra Teta, and I'm the development officer in HHVS. And this is with the Kellogg Foundation. We received a grant in July of last year to help support our Learning Parent Partnership, which is a part of our Well Wayne initiative. This grant agreement was approved and signed in August 1st of 2024. The resolution before you is to amend where the grant dollars are going to change the fund number.
Okay, so where are they going?
They will be going to account number, the fund 287 and the fund number 60206.
Okay, tell me what that means.
Oh, okay. So we have a sustainability fund that we recently initiated as a part of our expansion of our grant development office. And so with that, we are changing the funds from a previous fund to make sure that we're able to account for how we are sustaining our Well Wayne initiatives.
Okay, And where are the students coming from?
The students are coming from community colleges. This grant specifically is for 100 student parents who are 26 years old or younger. It provides cash payments of $500 per month, and all of the students who are eligible for the program must also be at 200% or below the federal poverty line.
Okay. Are they all from different areas?
Yes, from different community colleges.
Okay, all right. Any questions? Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And they can do whatever they want with this money?
Yes.
It's unconditional?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Yes. Commissioner Anderson, sorry.
Thank you. Which community colleges are involved with it?
We're working on the partnerships with the community colleges. I would like to recognize that we have 2 individuals from HHVS who are involved in the day-to-day programmatic work. One of them is online as of right now, who can also speak to some of the community colleges, and we also have someone in the room as well.
Thank you.
Can they speak to?
Yes.
Which
Yes,
colleges?
so this is Aja Harris Martin. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And Dean is here as well.
This is Aja Harris Martin, Chief Program Officer for Wayne County Health, Human Veteran Services. So the resolution, as Myra mentioned ahead of you all today, is just the additional money that will support this program. I want to mention that our Learning Parent Partnership Program, the contract is currently in queue. So we are currently working with commission staff to finalize that contract. So at this point in time, this is just around funds that will support that effort, not necessarily around the programmatic structure of the program, because those details are still being finalized.
It was kind of hard for me to hear,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, I haven't heard of a school yet.
Kamal Kaparu, Management and Budget Finance Director for the department. I just got a text saying, get here. So what's the question?
We were trying to figure out what colleges they were coming from.
Oh, no, I was talking about money.
No, but we just want to know which colleges.
The students will be coming from Wayne County Community College, Schoolcraft,
Oh.
and Henry Ford Community College. So all 3
Okay.
colleges have signed up for this program, but we have not launched it yet. It is still in the works.
Okay. Thank you. I'm
Thank you.
sorry, I was just hard of hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, staff.
Through the chair, Mary Carr, Deputy Director. This contract that's in front of us, it's only to change the business unit and the funding. We've already approved the actual contract
Okay,
back last year, I believe it was. And the reason it came back to be changed was Generation Hope contracts coming to the commission. And that's where the change got made. So this is just a change to approve the fund in the business unit.
okay,
Okey doke.
thank you. Mr. Caparu, was that so? Oh, okay. All right. Commissioner McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm glad that it came back around because, you know, we get a lot of different programs, and I thought this was an excellent program, except we didn't hear any follow-up, and I guess it hasn't really been rolled out yet. Is that what you're saying?
No, not as of
Okay.
yet.
And the colleges, you said was Wayne County Schoolcraft and
Henry Ford.
Henry Ford. And is that the Wayne County, well, because Wayne County has different campuses, right? How do you know how they're looking at what campus they're working with?
Yes, we're working with central administration for Wayne for WC3D. So we're working with the top districts. So all of the presidents will be working together to roll this out across their multiple campuses. So we're working centrally with WC3D.
Okay, and it's only 100 moms or dads or
Yep.
right.
Across-
Okay, that's what I
across
wanted to
all.
clarify.
Yep, across all three schools.
Okay. And is there like an equal split or how are you?
Right now,
Divided.
right now we're saying 33 per campus. based upon their enrollment efforts with Generation Hope. But as commission staff, noted, we are vigorously working out the logistical details with them on this contract. So this is just about changing the fund numbers of where they're going.
Right,
Not
yes,
necessarily.
I know, but since we're talking about it, we're just interested in it now, right? And so, and they're getting how much again?
That's still being worked out as well, part of the contract. So I didn't
Okay,
want
so
yeah.
it may be different amounts for different individuals?
No, it would be the same amount for all students, but we are
Oh, it will
still,
be.
we're still outlining that contract, like within the contract and legal due diligence.
Okay, and the 250 is the total amount that would go towards the individuals, or is the 250 the overall grant?
It's overall grant. So it's a part of the budget. The larger contract is closer to 900,000. So
Okay,
this
that's
is
what I was trying to
the
remember.
larger contract is subsidized with this grant.
The larger contract is how much again?
It's closer to 900,000.
900,000. And it's how long, the program?
2 years.
2 years. Thank you.
Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you for acknowledging me again. Okay, I was just reading through all this, and I'm glad, even though this is just a account change, we discussed this a long time ago, so they're talking about the background on the original agreement, and one of the goals will be to focus on the health of the people that are getting the money. And it's an innovative project that's been carefully designed to address the unique needs of our community with a focus on empowering individuals and families to achieve their full potential. So how are you tracking if this program is successful? It seems like it's a very wide range of, so what will we see to show us that this almost $1 million, what it's going to help people with?
We're
Yes,
working closely.
As a part of that grant, the Generation Hope works directly with the community colleges, and they'll give us a report by outlining what additional support our learning parents may need to continue moving through and attaining their degrees. Just off of some of our initial calls, a lot of ideas have come up. I know, economic development is also working closely with our community colleges, and certain needs have arose there as well. And so my team, as the project management or program management office under HHVS, will summarize those things, what we heard, and we'll, of course, bring those back to you all for those unique needs. But Generation Hope, as part of the contractor, will develop reports for each of the schools based upon the unique needs of those learning parents at each of those schools.
Okay.
And if I may add, we're also working closely with the Kellogg Foundation on the evaluation metrics as well.
Okay, if you can indulge me, Mary Carr, this be something that would be a good project to put it like into our budget instructions? So we follow with reports.
Through the chair, we could add that and it could be part of the discussion when we present the budget language instructions.
Okay.
So I'll have that on there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you for enlightening us again, because it's been a little while. We know that we've heard about it. But so thank you so much.
Yes,
all
thank you
three
so
of you.
much.
Thank you. Okay, next item, please.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of a cooperative agreement with Gorno Ford to purchase 2 black transport vans and 1 SUV for the juvenile detention facility.
Good afternoon,
Good
Commissioner.
afternoon.
Mac McGee, Division Director for Wayne County Juvenile Detention Facility.
Good afternoon, Racken Smith, Deputy Director of Juvenile Detention.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. And Mr. Smith, go ahead, please.
We're seeking the approval to purchase 2 transport van and an emergency pool vehicle for JDF. The current vehicles that we have, one is 15 years old with close to 70,000 miles. The other one is about, I want to say 12 years old, close to 60,000 miles. We believe this is a good investment for moving forward, and which will hold us probably in place for another 10 years, 10 to 12 years.
Okay. Commissioner Marecki?
Madam Chair, when I was reading through the analysis of this, something stood out because in public services, we get contracts for trucks, cars.
Okay.
Is there a reason why they just keep being referred to as black transport vans?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. No.
I didn't know if maybe that was, I don't know, juveniles picked it out. I don't.
No. They're just standard transport vans that are, outfitted with security protocols and all of those things.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Commissioner Anderson?
Just a question, I wonder, it might be tied to this reason they are black vans. Are they going to have markings of Wayne County on them?
Yes.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the Wayne County vehicles are black paint on them and so they will have seal or whatever of the Wayne County on it and so they're easy identifiable as a county vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Go ahead, Commissioner Anderson.
I did forget, why are we buying an SUV? One of them, an SUV, is that what they're replacing?
Right. So that's like an emergency pool vehicle. And so from time to time, we have like very life offenders or very high profile cases where we have to either transport them and they have to be transported by a sworn officer.
Okay. And so is that also because of maybe weather considerations in the wintertime or whatever?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so these, the prices, so the cost, the total cost for the vehicles is $152,139?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Thank you both so much. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 6, requesting commission approval of Amendment 4 to a 2-year comparable source contract with 3 one-year options to renew with Spectrum Juvenile Justice Services to increase the per diem bed rate and continue to provide secure detention and residential treatment services for juvenile offenders in Wayne County.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Melissa Fernandez, Director of Juvenile and Youth Services.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We are requesting approval for our amendment with Spectrum Juvenile Justice Services. And what this will do is raise the per diem to be in line with the state per diem for secure residential facilities. It will increase it from $638 to $910. One of the things that was also added was an incentive fee of $101, and that is to encourage Spectrum to take our kids. Often there's a reject or eject clause on their end where they're able to reject a young person or eject them if they're challenging. And so the state included that in their per diem, and we thought it was a good idea to include it as well. Currently, we have 51 young people at Spectrum.
Good. I was just gonna ask you how many we had. Okay. All right. Commissioner Kling.
Where are we at with beds outside of the JDF because I know we have a fairly large number that are really awaiting placement instead of being in the JDF.
Correct. So today we have, I'm happy to say we have 71 young people at the juvenile detention facility as of today.
Wow.
Half of what we had a year ago.
And it was like over 500 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes. That is in line with some of the work that we're doing with juvenile justice reform across the state. We do have 30 of those young people waiting for secure placement. The state of Michigan had a secure institution called Shawano Center that was up north. They are moving that center down to Macomb County. And they were bringing 20 more beds online that will be online by August. So they will have 60 beds in Macomb County that will be available to us to use, which will help out. Spectrum has 166 beds. They are today operating at 104. Part of their challenges is finding clinicians to come on board. Before it was direct care staff, today it's clinicians. We've been supporting them and sending resumes over to them that we get that we don't need anymore. But there's still a challenge for young people to be placed in beds.
With the state moving the facility to Macomb, since it's a state facility, aren't we gonna be essentially in competition with the rest of the counties in the state?
We'll be in
Those 60?
yes, correct. We will be in competition. The rest of the state does not have nearly as many, they don't have such a high need for beds as we do.
So the state didn't create any new beds, they just,
They did. They added 20 additional beds. So Shawana was operating at 40. Now they're at 60.
to drop in the bucket. Anything going on in Lansing for additional funding?
There's a lot going on in Lansing for additional funding. The county has been very active in supporting that. The state right now is conducting an analysis to see how many beds they actually need. The state has difficulty understanding or able to show how many kids across the state need beds. Wayne County I'm able to tell you at any point in time how many kids I have that need beds, but the state cannot tell you because the counties operate so differently across the state.
And it's the state that funds these facilities, right? It's a state responsibility.
Correct.
To provide enough beds.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tell me what impact it's going to have on our usage and spaces when the facility out in Haggerty Road opens up, the new hospital.
Sure. So that'll be specifically for mental health placement. We do have young people at our detention center who are in need of mental health placements, and they have been placed at Stonecrest or other institutions. So it will relieve some of the pressure and stress on us that we have for young people waiting for mental health specific placement.
Good. And do you try to, since you have, right now you have is it Havenwick? That's the other facility. In that facility, do they usually try to place those youths in the one close to where their family is, or is it any consideration whatsoever?
I don't believe so. I believe wherever there's an open bed for mental health is where they're placed.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Killeen?
Yeah, and thank you, Commissioner, for raising the mental health beds. That's another. So the facility on Haggerty? Then who has that out there?
It's state of Michigan.
Right. That was the Hawthorne Center, correct?
The Hawthorne Center, which has been in the news a lot.
This is a brand new facility.
Yeah, it's a brand new facility, but did they create any new beds?
I do not know. Again, those beds are specific to mental health.
Yeah. But again, since there's a paucity of mental health beds out there for various reasons, we're going to be in competition for those beds.
For the mental health beds?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, because DeWin and
Yes.
everybody around the state is looking for mental health beds.
Yes, that's correct.
It's really disappointing. It really is that Lansing will not act. That's it from me, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Marecki?
That facility is massive.
It is.
I don't know if you've seen it.
It is.
But it's completely different than the old facility, which was in the news several times. Hopefully this won't be, but I'm just trying to see what kind of bed capacity they have. But yeah, it is disappointing that the state is just not, 20 extra beds, all this, people are going and testifying all the time, and there's 20 extra beds. It's too bad.
I mean, Madam Chair,
Sure.
looking at the building is not really telling you anything other than they have a big building.
Right. Buildings, it's huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have a bunch of new buildings, but that's really not telling us a whole lot about the beds.
Your mic.
Oh, pull it down this way, I think.
Yep.
Capacity and all that kind of stuff. It's not like there's this enormous expansion going on.
No, it is psychiatric hospital. It's.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Anyone else? Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next item, please.
Item 7, requesting commission approval of Amendment 11 to a 5-year professional services contract with a 1-year option to renew with the Shared Family Services to continue providing juvenile and youth assessments and mental health and substance abuse testing services.
Good afternoon, Melissa Fernandez, Director of Juvenile and Youth Services. We are requesting approval for extension on the contract with AFS for 3 months. That would allow us the time to finish working on what that contract will look like after the new fiscal year. We're in partnership and collaboration with the Third Circuit Court with DWIN to finalize what that looks like. And once we're done with that, we will present that to you.
Okay. All right. Commissioner McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, this is a 3-month contract because we approved DWIN, I thought, to provide these services. Was that?
That was the IGA, yes. So the IGA is what we approved to provide the funding for the mental health portion.
Okay, so
And that IGA was late coming through on their end, so.
'cause I
it's kind of
remember
crossing each other.
something about
Correct,
this. Okay,
correct.
all right. That's, okay, that's all I needed to know.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right, thank you. Do we need to do this or can we just go on to the,
We can move to the addenda.
you gotta go. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I meant the addenda.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, all right. Then we'll go to the addenda.
Moving to the addenda, item 8, requesting commission approval of the Burn State Crisis Intervention Program grant contract with the Michigan State Police to implement the Justice Impacted Juvenile Diversion Program to reduce gun violence.
Good afternoon, Melissa
All right.
Fernandez, Director of Juvenile and Youth Services. The department is requesting approval for grant award acceptance so that we could implement the Violence Prevention Intervention Program, which is an award through the Michigan State Police. We will be collaborating with the People's Action Community Violence Interruption Group and the University of Michigan Firearm Prevention Injury Prevention Program and the School of Social Work to implement this program. The award is for $394,465 over 2 years. One of the wonderful things about this program is our close work with the People's Action, but the University of Michigan, who will be providing all of the data, metrics, reporting, and hopefully we're able to show at the end of 2 years that this is an evidence-based program, which will allow the People's Action then to compete for funding. One of the things I've been vocal about is some of the work that we're doing with our community-based organizations and grassroots organizations that aren't able to compete for big government grants. And so this is a great example of how we're partnering with the community through grants to help sustain community programming with smaller organizations. We do have we do have the director and the deputy director from the People's Action here as well.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
If you may, I would like to hear from
Sure.
the community-based group that's part of this program to see where they operate and who they're reaching out to and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And if I can add, they will target 100 young people. The referrals will come from community. I get so many calls a week from parents looking for supports, but also from the Third Circuit Court consent calendar, which we just created a new consent calendar that targets low-level gun violence. And that was out of our probation reform certification through Georgetown University and Annie Casey Foundation, which ends this year. So you'll see a report on what we've done in a year with Georgetown. I'd like to introduce Jackie Robinson and Negus Fu.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Jacqueline Robinson, here with Negus Fu, founder and director of the People's Action. We've been doing community violence intervention work for the last about 3 years now. Prior to that, we were already heavily engaged in the community. Right now, our targeted area is 8 Mile to Curtis, Hubbleburg Road, and we're currently working with the city of Detroit as a Shot Stopper vendor. So we have successfully reduced violence in our targeted area by
Turn it off.
Just click that, yeah.
Gotta go push.
There you go. You turned it off.
You did it again, sir.
There you go.
Right, all right.
Only once when you see the green.
There we go. All right. I'm Negus Vu. I'm the president for the People's Action. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. As Jackie was saying, we have over a caseload of 65 right now. Roughly 53% of them are high risk. We have been successful in engaging this demographic, and because of that, one of the most hardest quarters, which is the first quarter, that's from August to October. That's been on the trajectory in the city of Detroit, the most violent months, and we've reduced it by 75%. And we were able to do that is because we were able to reach that demographic. We provide fellowship services to them. We also provide wraparound services, and we have a database system where we look at the time from the time when we actually intake them into our treatment plan in the process of doing that as far as what things can we do to do behavioral modification. We have individuals from that community that have shared lived experience, but they're capable and they have the capacity to do, behavioral modification, make sure that they are on the right path for the different treatment plans that we have in place for them. Okay, hopefully that gives you a good overview. And then, like I said, we also do a lot of community initiatives. We have a program called Adopt a Block. So we provide wraparound services. We have DMC, Detroit at Works. So we just try to hit all different socioeconomic aspects of that community when we're talking about social health determinants.
All right. There was a rally this past weekend. Were you a part of that?
Yes, you're talking about our good friend, Pastor Barry, Silence the Violence. So we were there, and actually we was actually one of the vendors. Yeah, so we work with different groups across the city and across the nation. Forest Detroit, Detroit Friends and Family, and also Detroit 300 in Newer Detroit.
Sounds good. Yes, so Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you, Chair Scott. Welcome, brother.
Welcome. Thank you.
There we go. 2 quick inquiries.
Okay.
Wraparound, what does that entail? Number one. And number two, do you sort of talk about recidivism? Is there a certain degree of recidivism that people who are trained, who visit your system and who get kicked back out in the streets and then come back again? And is there this percentage or some type of matrix that you use to determine recidivism rate?
We can speak on. I'll speak on that. I'm going to go pass it on to Jackie when we talk about wraparound services. That's her specialty as a background of social work. But you want to speak to that real fast?
Yeah. So for the wraparound services, we like to service the entire family. We understand that the juvenile that we're working with has an entire ecosystem that needs to be serviced. So with that being said, all of our participants, they participate in a risk assessment and a needs assessment. And based on those assessments, they are resourced based on their needs. New to our programming, and thanks to our partnership with Wayne County and the state of Michigan, we will also be incorporating some of those therapeutic services. So as opposed to our participants having to wait for DWIN to go through that process, we're hoping to be able to offer some of those therapeutic services in-house without them having to wait. We recently went through the credentialing process. We are fully credentialed with Medicaid right now. So we will be working to incorporate some more medical-driven services along with the socioeconomic services.
We have a robust referral system. So when you talk about wraparound services, we were working with Job Corps. They were one of them. CEO, Team Wellness. Thanks to Melissa, she referred them. So we use different agencies who have good strengths in different areas. Substance abuse, mental health. Those are the things that we try to attack and we try to assist with. Our job mainly is almost being like a career navigator, where we're making sure that they follow through on those different wraparound services. Now, we talk about recidivism. It's interesting you mentioned that. So we've been on a 2-year journey with the city of Detroit. Thus far, and I'll be transparent, we have not had to deal with anything as far as them relapse, going back, committing crimes and stuff like that. Successfully, all the ones who've been on our caseload have not been active. We did have a few that went to jail, but those were ones who had already had pending charges prior. And we had some that was, there for us like 3 months. But those who's been with us for 1.5 years or 2 years, we have made great success as far as them being inactive. But that's also due to the fact that our outreach team spends a lot of time They spend a lot of time with them, looking at them on social media, hanging out with them. We had one who had a power attorney that the actual young man was temporarily living with him because he was homeless and his mother was not available. So those are the levels of dedication that we have. And because of that, we've been very successful outside of 4 to 5 participants who had pending charges prior to us doing the intake.
Actually, that's very impressive.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you. That means the program is working, right?
Yes, it is. It
Sounds
is.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully it stays working.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, Commissioner Mareki?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do you have a building? Do you have bricks and mortar?
Yes, we do. So we have 2 sites. Actually, we have one, the office right around the corner, WeWorks building. That's where we have our organizational team. We have 4 branches. The organizing team, they're the ones that do a lot of the outreach community events, the adopt the blocks, the town hall meetings, also workforce development programming. And then we have the actual outreach, street outreach building, the brick and mortar on 7 Mile, which is in the heart of actually where the area where we target our demographics. So that's over there on 7 Mile in Ferguson. And like Jackie said, we're from 8 Mile to Curtis. Curtis is roughly about a quarter mile north of 6 Mile. And then we go from Humble east all the way to Berg Road. So that's a 4 square mile radius. So we have that outreach building, but we're looking to potentially get one big building and just have all the operations come out of there.
And are you getting any financial support from Detroit?
Yeah, so we're one of the Shot Stopper groups. So there were 6 groups. Unfortunately, one of the groups did not meet the metrics that was required because we're required to do between 10 to 20%. So there's 5 groups currently that's being funded for CVI. And so far it's been a great success. As Melissa said, we have seen gun violence as low as it's been since the 1965. And I don't think that's a coincidence that since the mayor and Todd Bettison took the initiative in 2023 to put together to stop shot stoppers, we've seen a great decrease in gun violence.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, you're to be congratulated.
Thank you.
For doing this work on a very human scale, which is probably what's been lacking in the past, kind of direct caring. And I was interested in when you talked about your busy time of year. That seems to coincide with when school goes back in. Is that what you're seeing? That there's a lot of uptick when the kids start seeing each other in the hallways again, or out on the lawn in front of Denby, for instance. But is that kind of accurate?
So nationwide, it seems to be more closely correlated with the weather. So August tends to be the hottest months.
Yeah.
More people are outside.
Well, you
Children
said
are going to
August,
school.
but like October was.
Yes, but it's mostly late July, August, early September, when people are out celebrating, and it's just a need to build up those skill sets when it comes to conflict resolution.
Well, I'm an old DPS teacher, so
But you might be
that
on
was, I thought, first, right?
No, but you might be onto something because a lot of the beefs sometimes start in the schools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even if you look at Chicago, which has the most prominent gangs, most of the beefs that started in the schools, So you might be onto something. I never looked at it from that standpoint, but that might be part of it though.
Well,
But yes.
we ran up against a lot of time for beefs.
Yep.
That started in middle school. And now they're all in 9th grade together, and I taught 9th grade, and all of that stuff came back. But anyway, congratulations on your work. And
Thank you.
Ms. Fernandez, are we working with other community-based groups like this?
Yes, so that is what we are
Are you
trying.
following the Shot Stopper?
Yes, so I have to add, a year ago, when we started our Transforming Juvenile Probation certification with KC Foundation in Georgetown, we put together a team of folks to collaborate. The People's Action was on our team. So we've been collaborating together. But yes, I do also have to add that they, as well as other CVI groups, have been active in our JDF. Right? Because there is a continuum of kids coming in and coming out. They see them before they get there and after they get there. And so the CVI groups are able to cut down on issues inside JDF, but also as they pour back out into the street. So we are working with many of them and trying to figure out how to ways to collaborate and get grant funding and help them become evidence-based so they can compete for federal grants.
Sounds good. And I forget your name, ma'am, just,
Jackie Robinson's very easy.
Ms. Robinson, our baseball player. Something about that sticks in my mind. And Ms. Robinson, after the meeting, I want to have a quick conversation with you. You made a reference to DeWinn's process,
Yes.
which sounded
Well-
long. No, I don't want to go into it here, but I want to grab you for a minute after the meeting to flush out a little bit what that comment meant.
Yes.
So thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is it shot stopper or
Yes.
shot spotter?
No, it's shot stopper. And it's actually a funny story about that. So it comes from the concept of shot spotter. So when DPD was advocating to get more funding for a shot spotter. Right. And they reached out to community groups for support. It was primarily me, Daryl Woods, and Tafuri Brent. They wanted to help get support because we have great relationships with people in the city. But long story short, Tafuri said, hey, we'll help you support with the shot spotters, but we're the shot stoppers. And let's provide wraparound services. Let's not just always just jump out, because you hear a shot. Let's also work on it from a core value standpoint as far as dealing with the core, the nucleus, which is the mental health services, the wraparound. So he said, we're the shot stopper. So Mike Duggan and Todd Bedison liked that idea. So that's when they called it the shot stopper. So that's where the genesis of the name came from. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
All right, history. Yeah. Good. Anyone? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for all. Thank you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. All right,
Madam Chair, make a motion.
okay. Did we do 9?
No, we
did-
still have
oh,
number 9.
Wait a minute. Oh, no, that's right. Sorry. But I'll be ready right after that.
Okay. All right.
That was the
Mhm.
addenda that got me.
Item 9,
Mhm.
requesting commission approval of Amendment 4 to a classroom use license agreement and a service provider agreement with a 1-year option to renew with Capstone Academy Charter School to continue to provide educational programming for residents at the juvenile detention facility.
Good afternoon, Melissa
Good
Fernandez,
afternoon again.
Director of Juvenile and Youth Services. This is our request to extend our agreement with Capstone Academy. Capstone Academy provides the school services and education at the JDF through DPS. There's one more extension on that. That'll take us up to 2026. So we are gearing up to put out an RFP or an RFI to see who else is interested in providing education services at the JDF.
Okay. All right, any questions regarding Capstone? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I guess
I'm ready now.
yeah, okay. All right,
Chair, yeah.
items 1 through 9.
Well, I will move items 1, 2, and 3 for receive and file.
Okay.
And items 4 through 9 for approval.
All right.
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Kleen, supported by Commissioner Anderson. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any dissension? Hearing none, motion is approved. Thank you, Madam Chair. Next item.
Moving back to the agenda, F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee. I have not been informed of any
Pardon?
such other matters.
Oh, I have none.
G, public comments.
Anyone online wishing to respond to any items that we had on the agenda? Anyone online? Anyone on the phone? Anyone anywhere? Oh, thank you. Hearing none, is there anyone in the room would like to make a statement? Anyone in the audience to make a statement? Hearing none. Next, Madam Chair. Clerk?
Adjournment.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Thank you, aye. Thank you so much, and thank you all for attending today.